You are live with Dr. Chapa. Good morning, good day. I don't know what time it is where you are, but it is game time with Dr. Chapa. And I cannot be more thrilled, more excited because it is 2026, baby. We had a great 2025. And my wife just brought to note that the America is officially 250 years old. Can we get a pop, a celebration, an excitement in the air? Somebody say happy birthday, America. We made it to 2026. And it is quite, I don't know, interesting to consider that we are literally 4 years away from 2030. I can remember how at 1999 thinking the world was coming to an end with all of the hoopla with year 2K or Y2K. And it is a fascinating thing to see how we have all gone through so many things. And yet here we are. Life is still happening and new beginnings can start and unfortunate endings have to come to a close. And it's fascinating the seasons of life that we all find ourselves in. And with that, I open up with this idea that what is it that you are hoping to accomplish in 2026? Every time I take a step back and every new class I've ever taken, it always has a mindset piece. And I'm not here to tell you about mindset. That's what we've been working on these last 2 weeks. But at the end of the day, I need to remind you that it's official. It's no longer, I'm going to do it. It's, I'll get around to it. It is literally, what do you want your life to look like at the end of 2026? That is all in the power of your choices. It's your life. It's your health. It's your choice. And I am glad to be here with you this afternoon, this morning, this evening, whatever time you're tuning in, because if you are dialed in to the new cells, new year, new movement for 2026, you are in for a treat. I'm telling you. And so welcome to Dr. Chapa Wellness.com. We are excited to bring you the Dr. Chapa Wellness Show every Monday night. We teach you and educate you on what it is to live better, be better, and stay better through food choice. It is nutritionally your absolute responsibility to not consume poison. Every decision that I make day in and day out is I'm thinking about not my taste buds, not the pleasure centers of my body, but what is it that is below my taste buds that I want to fuel for a lifetime, to be fully functional in spirit, mind, and body. I saw a guy this morning as he was walking around his car. He had a spray bottle in his hand and a terry cloth, and he was taking the time to polish his vehicle. And it just makes me wonder, like, how often do we take better care of our material things that are genuinely going to wear out and are going to get beat up by the weather, but we never take care of our earth suit, our carrying case? Do you realize that most people think that this body just handles life on its own? They don't realize that there's a work to be done, which is why for 20 years, I've been teaching a better you through food choice. All life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition is the fundamental driver that allows your body to thrive. Well, that's what we want. Or unfortunately, we see so often people not thriving and they're stuck in symptom lands. So we are going to be doing some great detox work. If you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. It is a non-negotiable for the 21st century. I've been saying this since I've been in practice. If you are not detoxing in the 21st century, no offense, not trying to be ugly, but you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. You have to literally start being intentional. The rhythms of life are imperative, are important, and are an absolute must. So let me encourage you that you will go forward and that you will do great things with your life day in and day out. I'm excited that you're tuned in. It is, again, detox season, and we are on the move, man. We are so excited. So the relatable pain that most people have every day: acid reflux, indigestion, foggy thinking, bloated, uncomfortable. They are gassy. They have some kind of belly bloat. especially after they eat meals. They wake up tired, more tired than they went to bed. They wake up during the night to pee. They wake up during the night to poop. They wake up during the night and have bodily issues that they shouldn't be having. And why is that? Because their liver is working 10 times harder at nighttime. It is when it's most active. It is most active between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And what does that really mean to you and me? Well, it means that your liver is regenerating itself. It's producing growth hormone for repair, recovery, regeneration. It's helping your body get rid of waste, trash, and toxins to keep the pains away. So if you find yourself with headaches, migraines, if you find yourself with hormonal dysregulation, if your skin is flaky and patchy and dry and irritated, and if you're bloated after meals, you have symptom patterns that are tied to your liver. This is cellular stress saying, please help me. I need some love. And that's coming from the liver. So we want to dive into this liver game and talk about what is actually happening in detox. So real detox is not a juice cleanse. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't done a juice cleanse, and I'm not saying I don't believe in juice fasting. I teach a program that is a solid food vacation, and I have had great success with it. But it is not something that I'm going to live on for long term. But I have gone many days. As the longest I've ever gone on a juice fast was a 38-day cleanse. And I call it a juice feast, not a fast. I call it a juice feast, not a cleanse, because I was consuming, a gallon and a half of juice a day. I was still getting 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day, depending on what fruits and vegetables I threw in my juice. And it took me an hour and 15 minutes to make a gallon to a gallon and a half of juice every morning. And I would bottle it up and tote it around. And people that knew me in that season of time, they watched me and go, how do you even do that? And I'm like, because I'm a man on a mission. I want to learn detox. I want to learn, cleansing. I want to learn the necessary rhythms that the body needs in order to maximize overall health and vitality, energy, vim, vigor, and vip. And detox, though, does not have to be a juice cleanse. It can be a benefit and it can be an amplifier, but it doesn't have to be that if you don't want it to be. So I always say, look, don't make detox hard. You getting off sugar and alcohol will start the process. I'm serious. So it's your body's natural rhythm, detox rhythm, that is your body removing waste, neutralizing toxins, and repairing cells. Your liver is the giver. If you are able to take care of any one system in your body, believe it or not, it's not the liver, it's the stomach. Because if you can't digest food, you can't absorb food. Therefore, you can't get nutrients delivered to the liver for repair, recovery, and regeneration. And so I would say the stomach and then the intestinal tract. So we should be doing regularly, always and forever, whether they're monthly, quarterly rhythms, where we are getting the digestive tract and the stomach overhauled and fully functional at its rudimentary levels. And it's then that the liver steps up to the plate and says, oh, that's a nice area I can dump trash, waste, and debris in. And so the liver is smart. It is not going to dump trash, waste, and debris into an already toxic bowel. So you have to really appreciate that if you are having detox symptoms like we just talked about, whether there's skin patches, you're fatigued, you're tired all through the day, you can't make it through the day without rocket fuel, odds are you need a detox. But you have to understand what it is you're detoxing. The reason you have headaches and the reason your body is fatigued and the reason you have brain fog and you struggle with names, numbers, and words is because your body can't remove the waste at the rate it needs to. Every case that fails that comes to me from other clinicians, and I would even say, clients in my own office that give up on the detox process and tell me it didn't work for me, I tried that. They missed the point of rhythm and routine and ongoing maintenance care. And that's sad because your body needs help neutralizing toxins in a world that is, I'm just loaded with toxic debris, and your body can't repair at the rate it needs to. The liver's the giver, but the liver can't function well if it doesn't have a great exit strategy. So you have to make sure that if you're going to do a good detox And to get the most out of your detox, guess what? Your bowels better be moving more than once a day. And you go, well, that's not a problem. I poop regularly, Dr. Chapa, and I'm proud of them. Great. But what if it's 25% slow? You don't have a gas gauge that tells you it's low, or a percentage that helps you know if you got the waste, trash, and debris out. You have to recognize that if you've never detoxed and you're alive in 2026, 250 years of American history, then you're missing a piece of your healthcare plan. And that's why you have symptoms. I know people that look good, they smell good, they have all the faculties, but they always tell me, I can't get off the coffee. I can't get through the day without, rocket fuel and monster drinks. I can't, maximize my sleep because I jacked myself up on energy drinks all day long. And now I'm wired and I'm tired and I don't know what to do, Dr. Chapa. And that's because the cells didn't get the repair recovery that they need. Well, let's talk about these cells for a second. So we're sitting here talking about the stomach and the intestines and the liver. Well, what about the 37 trillion cells floating around in your body? Whoa, that is totally tubular, man. That is like Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure slang right there. Whoa, 37 trillion cells. If I had like a desire, I would love to be able to protectively ride the whole alimentary tract. There's 28 feet of intestinal tract from mouth to hind end. I would love to see just what goes on inside the digestive tract. I bet you it is a wild experience. I always say that digestion is the most violent sport on the planet. And when I think of cells at 37 trillion cells, and each one of them needing to function well, so I have good energy, mental clarity, balanced hormones, and a strong immune system, I think, what am I doing to maximize my life cycles? Because these cells do die off and they replace by a new cell. The last thing that you want to develop is what's called zombie cells. And zombie cells have just stuck around past their useful life. But unfortunately, they are placeholders and they become a little bit rotten. They spew, they spit, they sputter, they misfire, they miscommunicate. And unfortunately, one bad apple can spoil the bunch, so the old adage says. And if you have a numerous amount of bad apples in your cellular 37 trillion structure, guess what? That can add up and add up quick. Don't go, well, I got 37 trillion. There's no way that can be an issue. The problem in the body is not, it equates to money. It is 37 trillion life cycles working all at once with one unified goal. That is for you to live your best, be your best, and stay your best in the world around you with energy, vim, vigor, and vip, to live your fully functional in spirit, mind, and body at every level, at every turn, all throughout the rhythms of the day. Whether it's digestion in the morning, stomach in the morning, whether it's sleep and recovery through the gallbladder and liver at night, whether it's your kidneys in mid-evening, the body is going through rhythms and change. And cellularly, we have to go, what kind of energy outflow do my cells put off day in and day out? And that's why at drchapawellness.com, I have so many tools and resources to train you and develop you ongoing training, not a one and done, not a check the box, I did that, or I've never done that before, why would I need to start now? The reality is that the average 40-year-old is on 4 to 5 medications. If that's you, put a comment in the below. You don't have to tell me how many you're on, but the average 4 to 5 medications. It isn't getting better. People aren't getting more well, they're getting sicker. And it's because these 37 trillion cells are not supported, they are not improving, they are not balanced, and they are not getting a boost. They are in fact getting burdened by the toxic load put on the liver. So your liver, I mentioned earlier, is the giver. And so this would probably be my third most important tool in my tool bag of stomach, intestines, liver to maximize 37 trillion cells of health and vitality. The liver is so heavily rooted in body physiology. It is not a filter. That's what it's not. So the real misconception is your liver needs to be changed like an oil filter. And in fact, the liver needs to break down toxins. And did you know, for every toxin that you have in your body, whether it's aluminum from the pots and pans that you're using, or the Teflon that's coated all over the lining of your cooking utensils, yes, your house is loaded with toxins. You don't realize this good smelling candles in your house, the little plug-ins, those are emitting garbage for your liver to have to function through and deal with. And it can for a bit. It's always been said to me, I had this veterinarian tell me that her son didn't need to do a detox, and because her liver's fine and he doesn't have high liver enzymes. Listen, if you're just basing a detox on liver enzymes, you don't know physiology. And if the AST and ALT and GGT are in balance, that's great. But did you know that those numbers can be on your standard blood metabolic profile, can be out of just slightly out of range or in range, and 80% of your liver still be operating fairly functionally well, because the liver is so versatile. You can cut out 3/4 of this baby and it will grow back. By the way, makes you wonder, if the gallbladder lives right up underneath there, what makes you think that the gallbladder can't grow back? So those of you out there that think that you don't need a gallbladder flush or a liver flush, that may be a misnomer that you don't have a gallbladder, which is its own issue, by the way. So let's just say I'm wrong and you don't grow it back. You need to digestively support that system, because you can't break down fats at the same rate as a normal digestive tract. That is an issue and puts strain and stress on your digestion, which then in turn backs up and puts strain and stress on your liver. So now you pesticide your house, you fertilize your house, and now you're walking around barefooted on the Clorox you just mopped your floor with. You are bombarded with toxins day in and day out. If the liver slows down, the whole body slows down. The liver filters your blood, it regulates your metabolism, it builds nutrients, so your body can build 37 trillion healthy, wonderful, vibrant, unified cells. Whoa. So even if you eat well, this is, again, the misnomer. I don't eat bad, but I just told you, what if you're cooking in bad utensils? What if your house is bombarded with garbage and toxins and it's pressing on you, and you a homeschool family, or you're stuck in your house because you're retired and you have nothing to do, and you don't go out much and you never get outdoor air? Did you know that the indoor air alone is 8 to 15 times more toxic than the air outside? And you may live in an area like I do that's surrounded with chemical plants. And you go, well, your air must not be much better. And I'm like, yeah, and 8 to 10 times worse indoors. So you got to open up the doors, man. You got to, open up the channels. You got to flush the tissues. This is the point why detoxification must be an important part of your ongoing wellness 2026 plan. If you're going to live your best, be your best, make sure you're dialing in and you're working at the cellular level, at this internal matrix, past your taste buds, past your pleasure centers, past that belly button touching your backbone pain of saying, I'm hungry. No, you're not. You ate 2 hours ago. You've trained your body to want food. Now train your body to learn to eat for fuel, not pleasure. That would be the next evolution that I would see you get to this year. That would be something that would be powerful if you saw food as medicine, not as pleasure. And alcohol, by the way, is a poison. Sugar is a chemical. These are poisons to your body, and they stress your 37 trillion cells. They back up and cause your liver not to function at its optimal rate. They cause digestive cellular waste to build up. Those zombie cells then hold on instead of die off, because your body doesn't have the nutrients to replace them. Okay, it's just like your house. Your roof needs to be replaced. Your air filters need to be changed. You got to sweep. You got to dust. You got to do things to maintain the inside, right? Well, you got to do things to maintain the inside of this earth suit, and it needs your help. This is a cry. This is a call for you to go onward, upward, goodward, and Godward with me. And I'm taking you there through the Dr. Chapa Wellness Blueprint, so I can teach you how to live better, living well blueprint to maximize your overall health and well-being. And I'm excited about taking modern day life that is full of toxins from car exhaust, chemical skin cares, processed junk food, stress overload, that all demand your body to wake up and start detoxing with intentionality, not just depending on the body to do all the work by itself. So I was at church this week, and interestingly, the random conversation, person walks up and says, you know, I think that they're putting fake processed junk in our food. And I go, did you see that report? And he didn't know about this report, but that one of the local food chains estimates that there's like so many, million burgers that they go through. And there's not enough apparent cows on the planet to meet the criteria of all the fast food chains that claim to use real meat. Well, they claim to use all beef patties. And apparently they are buying beef from a company called All Beef Patties. Good marketing, and you've been duped. You're eating manufactured garbage. You're eating fake food. And if you eat make-believe food, guys, the best you'll ever have is make-believe health. Make-believe food equals make-believe health. Of course, the chemical car exhaust. Of course, the toxic air in your homes. Of course, the candles and the plug-ins all throughout your home. Of course, all that's a problem. But the food, you're genuinely putting it into your body. I accidentally, oh my gosh, it's so gross. I drank a old drink. My wife hands me a drink and says, hey, she says she told me to put it in the sink. I was on the backside of the couch. I grabbed the drink. I didn't hear it. I was very distracted apparently. And I just drank it. I drank mold. I guarantee you that did not help my body. And sometimes that happens, right? Well, I had diarrhea for like 2 days. So my body worked tirelessly for 2 days to dump that mess out of the system. And I did not feel well. And I mean, like emotionally, I was fine, but my body, I could tell, was wrestling and fighting because mold is sticky. And my body has an allergy, to it, has developed antibodies to it. And maybe yours has too. Mold itself isn't typically a problem, but I don't recommend drinking it. That was a terrible experience. And it cost me. My body had to use up health points, emergency 911 call internally, diarrhea callers to go in and immunologically power wash the tissues and to clean up the mess. So good thing I am an active advocate of detoxification, and I have binders and I have cleanup crews and I have resources to help the body clean up those mucous membranes so that they're not holding on to stuff that you get into. I knew I did something. But what if your symptom is not as subtle or as obvious? Maybe it's more subtle, like you get high blood pressure and heart palpitations, 2 or 3 times a week. Or you have, nights where you're hot flashing, or you have nights where you're waking up, tossing and turning, bad dreams and nightmares. You might not attribute these to the fact that you had a processed, full of chemically adulterated food meal that day or the days before during the holidays or New Year's celebrations or celebrations in general, weddings and birthdays. I mean, the America is 250 years old, so I guess we should be celebrating, yes, every day. That sounds great. Even if it's your birthday or an unmarried birthday, you get to take care of your body with good health practices, not just giving into, well, I'll just get to that later, or the body can handle that. Hey, it can, but don't make it a stressor for the body to do all the work on its own. The point of that slide is to tell you you're toxic and you need a detox. So again, signs your liver needs support: bad sleep, tossing, turning, waking up in the middle of the night, bed wet because of sheets, or bed wetting for your younglings. Believe it or not, your kids need detox protocols as well. Metals, chemicals that they're getting injected into their bodies, fluoride they're getting poured down their mouth, that's in their toothpaste, lotions and potions and creams and gels that we rub all over their skin can cause their body to back up and they can have bad sleep. You may be having bad sleep because you're doing a lot of these things. When we put hair gels in, we put facial rubs on, when we put lotions and potions on our skin to be radiant and beautiful for the world to see. I'm all for it, but understand this is why you may be fatigued. And if you do eat and get bloated, if you wake up bloated, go to bed bloated, if you're bloated by the end of the day, typically it means that your body is in need, and detoxification is a must. And it will cleaning your bowels, cleaning your liver, your gallbladder, essentially starts the process in opening up the channels and getting trash going the right way, taking pressure off your kidneys. So now you see blood pressure drop, taking pressure off your skin. So now your skin becomes radiant. Now you take pressure off your high sinus, your lymphatic system in the neck and head region, and you can see clearer. You breathe better. You're able to think more equipped, more rapidly throughout your mental processing speed day. You don't have brain fog and you don't forget why you walk into rooms. And then you, most importantly, can walk past the donuts and you don't give in to temptation whenever the bread calls or the starch calls or the pastry calls or the cookies and the candies and the cakes and the ice creams and the sodas. None of that stuff is wanted by your body, because make-believe food equals make-believe health. So if you're in any one of these zones where you can't sleep well, you wake up more tired than you went to bed, or you have fatigue, digestive challenge, headaches, blood pressure problems, more than 3 medications, you need to detox. If you feel like you don't have the willpower, that's why you need care. ChapaWellness.com, man. We are going to walk you through this process and teach you how to live better, be better together. It's nice to go with somebody that's been through this 50 times or more. I know the terrain. I know what I would call the yellow brick road. I know the wizard. I'll even introduce you. He's really not that scary. He doesn't have a big thundering voice. And it's your own body's cell structure, the commander in chief of your own mind, of your own liver, and of your own body tissues working unified together so that your body can be united for wellness, for well-being, all the days of your life, fully functional in spirit, mind, and body. Man, I could lay it down thick. Your body naturally detoxes through hydration. So every morning I drink salt water. First thing in the morning, I have electrolytes. If you do those 3 things, water, electrolytes, and salt in the morning, you're like in the top, 75% of awesome humans, because you have already good practice. And if you start your day right, you end it right. Antioxidant support. What are you taking to get your enzyme levels rich in the body so that your body can clean up messes? Because look, there's spills that happen all throughout life. There's somebody's going to step in dog food. They're going to kick the water pan. A glass fell out of our cupboard the other night and shattered everywhere. And literally 3 shards of glass, I watched them bounce up into a little oven we had just opened, and it went into the oven. What? And I'm talking like, there's no way this could have happened. This is like an oven that's 18 inches, wide. It's not your standard big oven on the wall. Your detox pathways work through good, real food. If you eat real food, you get real health. If you eat make-believe food, you get make-believe health. Quality sleep. If you're not sleeping well, the detox will help you sleep better. It'll help you get into those deep sleep rhythms, and your body will not need to wake up at night to pee. It will sleep cooler. It'll sleep in such a way that you wake up feeling alive, vibrant, fully functional, ready to tackle the day. And my favorite part of detox and how detox works is it cleans up your stress management hormone cycles. It balances hormones and helps you manage stressors that are coming. The dark shadows are coming. The devil is coming. It's out there, right? Your world is what it is, but it's going to get interrupted. And stress is on the horizon of us all. And if you are prepared, see, people never plan to fail, they just fail to plan, right? So if you prepare for doing a detox twice a year with me, as I have been teaching for 20 years, 42 days a year of detox, you won't just starve zombie cells. You will enhance thriving energetic cells, and those energetic cells will build a culture, over 37 trillion cell structures of culture for good, healthy, vibrant living. So we don't starve, we just support the body all through the detox, and there's multiple ways that we can go about getting it done. New Year cellular reset. Oh, baby. Again, think of the ride it would be if we got to ride just the digestive tract, the 28 feet. But now with these 37 million trillion cells, what if you were able to see each and every unhealthy cell and each and every healthy cell and talk to them, interview them, and ask them, hey man, what is the best thing I could do to support you this year? And your healthy cell says, feed us real food, hydrate us well, keep our electrolytes, our minerals rich. Because one thing I forgot to mention earlier is for every toxin like aluminum and chemicals and metals that you are exposed to and have to detox, you lose 2 to 3 to 4 minerals. Oh man, that's a bummer. And so your mineral levels crash, which cause your body to wear out. And so we've got to remineralize the body. So your detox plan may be simply to get your vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids right, and to get some of your diet checked in and get the hydration reflexes working and get the salt impacts back up in alignment. Maybe you need to do our living well vulnerability test, where you can see if you are physiologically equipped to have a good 2026, or if you need to do more detoxification, or if your cells need more regeneration and repair, or if you're malnourished. What if you're not digesting well and your malnutrition index shows that you are low and you're not doing well because your body's genuinely starving, even though you're eating real food even. Because if your digestive system is wrecked, the whole body is wrecked. That's why the stomach is my number one, digestion be number two. And then, okay, the liver detox. So we may need to tackle you from a different angle. We're going to teach you how to make those decisions in our masterclass programs and help you along the way in our ecosystem for living your best, living well, blueprint life. So New Year, cellular reset makes me excited to think that we are in control of the trillions of cells that are inside of us that we can't see and we haven't introduced ourselves to, but I know we would if we could. Instead of a new diet, choose a new strategy, a detox strategy with drchapawellness.com. This is rooted in science. This is not Instagram fads. I know a lot of people trying to sell detoxes. I had this one lady bring me a package and she had belly pain galore, bloated galore, and there was no label. You couldn't even tell what herbs were in there. She goes, I said, where'd you get that? She goes, I got it from my friend. And she says it was from, some other country and it's really good. But my system has been wrecked ever since doing it. And I'm like, well, that's okay. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can't even speak to what you're doing. When your cells thrive, I know this, you will thrive. And so if you're feeling those symptoms, it could be a Herxheimer reaction. It could be a detox reaction, not anything that I'm not opposed to you going through, but at least if I know the terrain, if your coach and leader knows the terrain, if they're practicing the terrain themselves, right here, guys, 20 years. I mean, well, actually, since I've been 15, I've been doing some measure of cleansing on my system, but 20 years professionally, 50 detoxes, 30 gallbladder flushes, over hundreds of coffee enemas, lymphatic washes galore, basic bowel cleanses, all kinds of ways to clean up and overhaul the system and make those cells regenerate daily, not just waiting for the new year. I chose a new strategy. Now I'm teaching people the same strategies that will carry their health onward, upward, goodward, and Godward. I want to see you thrive. So small steps, just like we talked about. Maybe you're not ready for the full out ultimate detox, experience detox in a box program. It's okay. I will teach you even in small steps, drinking 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, 1 liter per 50 pounds of body weight is what I've been teaching. But if I get your minerals right, if I get your salts right, then I might not even need that much because when you have adequate electrolytes, minerals, and vitamin replenishment happening, your body can hold water in areas that need water. It can still cleanse and detox on its own naturally, as it's naturally going to do to the best of its ability. But you're going to get more bang for your buck. And then when I improve digestion, maybe through enzymes, stomach acid support, you're going to digest the meats and the carbs that you're consuming, the greens, the starches, the fibers that you're getting into. You're going to have better quality sleep because you're going to learn how to get the sleep rhythm right. I have the Sleep Secrets page where I teach people these are the things you need to do to prep your sleep. And some of these sleep secrets start in the morning. Interesting. So daily movement. If the dude don't move, the dude don't groove. One of my favorite sayings. And I'm so excited that if you are a part of my world, I'm going to encourage you to stay active, to stay mobile, and to stay in the game of movement. Even if you can't move well, detoxification oftentimes is a solution to helping your joints rehab themselves, hydrate themselves, and to overhaul themselves so that they function like they're supposed to. Stress breaks, teaching you a less chaotic, a more paced, more rhythmic life. 2026, my word of the year that God gave me is rhythm. I go, Lord, what is it about my life? I take on a lot of things. I tackle a lot of things. I'm a busy guy. I try not to be being under Satan's yoke busy, but I am actively pursuing better versions of tools to serve my clients and my patient base and my family. I'm serving the Lord at a level that is, daunting, because I want supernatural revelation knowledge. I want to know the Lord in relationship. I don't want to be, idle on the sideline of faith. My biggest prayer that I pray, other than the salvation and well-being of my family, is that Lord would give me a prayer of a kingdom kind. What is it that you're talking to the Lord about? So stress breaks, understanding the rhythm that you need to take day in and day out so that you're not overworked, overwhelmed, and nutriently deprived, reaching for fake food, expecting good results out of that over the course of this year or years to come. This is our year to make a shift for you. If the United States has been put together for the last 250 years, maybe it's time that you get off the sideline and start participating in your best life, because the sun's coming up and the cycles of life are upon us. 42 days a year out of your year is a small investment in order to maximize your overall health and well-being. You will help your body with intentionality cleanse itself and detox itself, and then you can get into a rhythmic plan with a professional like myself and not just be wondering how to detox well. You will be confident of the results you're going to get, the outcomes that you can expect over time, and you will know coming back to it that I am still actively participating in this detox, no sugar, no chemical, no alcohol living process that protects our cells, and we do it together. We become wellness warriors. We become stakes in the ground for people to come to whenever life seems to be burdensome in the health department. We will support each other's cells through just synergy. When you are synergizing with yourself and getting that identity of, I want good quality life, fully functional in spirit, mind, and body, when you trust and know where your help comes from and you do what you need to do to take care of your own earth suit, you will begin naturally impacting the lives of others around you. That is my heartbeat, because now you become an active wellness warrior, a light carrier bearer for good health. And so by supporting your cells, you become a sustainable pillar, a rock, a stake in the ground that other people can hold on to, and that you can lead forward on a guided program through our Detox in a Box, through our Living Well Blueprint ecosystem, and you don't rebound. I hear all the time, well, I did a detox and the symptoms came back. And I'm like, yeah, but I saw pictures of you eating cake on Instagram. You know what I mean? I see you at events drinking alcohol. I see you stuffing your face with more food than you need, and they're finger foods, they're fake foods, they're processed foods. They're filled and chock full of bad oils. And yes, I'm judging. I'm not really judging. I'm sorry to observe. And not really judging, but when people say it doesn't work, I go, well, are you cleaning up your mess as much as you are contributing to it? Because we all went through the holidays. We all have celebrations. We all have reasons to cheat and fall off the wagon. That's why you need a guide, somebody to hold you accountable. And if you're not under care, or if a doctor finds himself his own patient, then guess what? If you are your own doctor, you found yourself a fool for a patient and a fool for a doctor. Don't fall trick to your own choices. You will rationalize bad behavior and look as confused as this guy. He's like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? So Designed to Thrive Masterclass is a step for you to take and be educated. Education is like key on a key ring. The more you get, the more directions and opportunities you will always have. I am an avid learner myself. I'm a curious person myself. I question a lot of things myself, and I learn a lot myself, and I am under care of others. I've been trained and taught, and I live this practice. This is my game. This is what I'm good at. If you want to thrive, and if you want to go to the next step, take my master's class. If you're ready to learn the exact principles that you need to support cellular health, to support your liver's basic 1600 pathways of functionality, then you need to get your phone out, click the camera open, and whenever the little you shine your camera over this little QR code, there's going to be a little button that pops at the bottom. It'll be yellow, and click it, and it'll take you to our master's class entry point. It's the doorway. It's your right next step. Do you know that Chapa means doorway? I am the doctor of the future, the best future you're going to have, and thriving with me, and we're going to thrive together. So Dr. Chapa, isn't that cool? The doorway, the doorknob, going into a better future together with healthier, more vibrant cells, better, stronger liver, better digestion, better attitude, and a new year is upon us. Wow. New cells, a new you. And I wanted to say thank you. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Save this video. Share it with your friends, family, and loved ones. They need it. And I'm telling you, they're in for a treat. If they'll get tied in and they'll buckle up and follow the program, I promise you, you won't regret it. You're in for a treat. Thank you, thank you, thank you for always contributing. Tell me something cool in the bottom. You know, I got some cool messages over the holiday of people just saying thanks for the good health practices that we've been teaching and preaching for so many years, and the impact we've made on their families, watching families grow, kids grow, people not, you know, stacked with steroids and antibiotics and medications. In fact, people giving up the drugs and moving toward lifestyle practices is such a rewarding thing to see happen. We are making a difference, and we are going to keep making a difference. And I'm excited that you are on this difference train with me. So if you want to live your best, be your best, stay your best, drchapawellness.com, make sure that you join our ecosystem, and you will see a better version of yourself in this next 30 days, in this next 6 months, in this next year. And it's going to be fun to do it together. So next Monday night, we'll be doing it again. I can't wait to see you. And may the Lord bless you always and forever. Thanks.